What only exists because humans are dumb. Warnings on hammers saying this object can cause damage if you strike yourself. Step 1. Hit someone else with hammer. Step 2. Act outraged discovering it causes harm without being warned against. Step 3. Sue company to your heart's content. Step 4. Profit. Bonus points if you hit someone you don't like. I know a lot of people say warning labels, but let's be honest. Warning labels have probably never stopped stupid people from doing stupid things. They are just there to protect corporations from getting lawsuits. But the most ridiculous warnings only exist because some idiot actually did that stupid thing. They are there to protect the company, sure, but they wouldn't be necessary if the dumb thing hadn't already happened in an earlier iteration. Let's not get on a tangent about the topic of TV ads for prescription medication, but recently, last couple years, they started adding a sentence in the commercials. Do not take Trivexica if you are allergic to Trivexica. What happened to make that a thing that they need to mention now? Why the hell would anyone knowingly continue to put a drug in their body if they knew, or realized they were allergic to it? Answer. People are stupid. I get that it's to protect them legally, but it's mind-blowing to me that it needs to be said even to do that. The part that gets me is that the statement provides no new information. For example, I would say, don't eat Snickers if you are allergic to peanuts. I wouldn't say, don't eat Snickers if you are allergic to Snickers. Exactly. My mom is allergic to sulfur-based medicines, so it would make much more sense to point things like that out. Edit. Probably sulfur. Like why it's even a thing. In Europe there's a line like, read the leaflet or consult doctor before taking it, required in every medicine ad. Because European countries only allow ads for non-prescription medicine, aspirin, cough syrup and such, while the US allows ads for prescription drugs, which can have severe side effects even without allergies. New Zealand and the US are the only countries I'm aware of that have these commercials. It's a legal thing. That's also why the side effects list is so long. They have to put a disclaimer for every possible symptom that occurred in clinical trials, even if it only occurred in 1 or 2 people, so that the drug company won't be sued for neglecting to tell the consumers about unexpected side effects. It's still dumb. Edit. I've learned so much from you guys. Thank you for all the information. I'm no doctor or lawyer, so I appreciate any correction. Every time I hear those long lists is yet another reminder that drug companies should not be marketing prescription drugs direct to consumers. In many countries outside the US, marketing medicine is heavily regulated or even illegal under certain circumstances. When I went to the US for the first time this year, and saw all the medicine ads, and just what people could buy without a prescription, I was flabbergasted. The sheer amount of OTC medication available in huge packet sizes was baffling. Today I learned there are companies who get you out of timeshares. I remember my parents spent an entire day in Bali sitting through timeshare presentations because they wanted some freebie that was advertised. On a related note, it may be that there's another thing that exists because humans are dumb. It may be me. Edit. The freebie was a trip to Hollywood, which they got but missed the flight for, making the trip very expensive. They brought me back a novelty clapboard, and then I ended up with a career in making cartoons. So in a roundabout way, my life's work also exists because humans are dumb. Great. A couple years ago, we got a free 5-day trip to Phuket, and all we had to do was sit through a 2-hour rich person vacation resort presentation thing. They put us up in a luxury villa with a private pool and everything. The trip was totally worth it. We crunched the numbers on the vacation rental, and it was a terrible deal. I can't believe anyone would have $50,000 to invest in that crap, but not know that you can buy better trips with $50,000. I've sworn never to buy a timeshare, but I did opt for a 4-day trip to a great Florida resort where the stay was free, and they offered me a $50 restaurant gift certificate, or they'd upgrade it to a $200 Visa gift card if I did the 1-hour presentation. It was a great trip, and I don't regret it, but let me tell you, This kind of thing is not for people who are likely to feel guilty. When the employee gives you a cold shoulder shutdown because you said no, it worked to get me to do the presentation. The way they went to this icy cold, well, that's fine. Tone. When I said I thought I'd just take the $50 restaurant gift hit me in the gut. Yike. Though thank goodness it didn't work to get me to buy the timeshare, because I went in saying to myself, do not buy this. No matter how good it sounds. You know better. But it did sound good when they were presenting. And I did feel guilty at the end of the presentation for saying no. Like it was my fault they spent so much time on me. Also, if you say no, they keep lowering the price. Beware. If you really don't want to buy, if you have guts of cast iron, enjoy a free trip. Otherwise save yourselves. If it's any consolation, they know 100% that most people are there for freebies, and pull the pity card as a last-ditch effort to reel you in. I'm sure they do. Yeah, I figure the training goes. When they say no, you get angry at them. All of you got that? Hey, I didn't know that. When I went to my first one in Vegas, the dude called into question my masculinity, my upbringing, my selfishness for wasting his time. At first I was pretty taken aback, but then just started smirking. He seemed, actually, pissed off at the end. We left thinking it was worth it for what we got, but I felt bad for anyone rolling through there who may be easily intimidated. Damn. For a 5-day trip to Phuket in a private villa, I would sit through that too. I've done worse for way less. Go on. I've defo sat through longer than 2-hour presentations / sales pitches / strong arm techniques for something like free dinner or food. I've also paid a real hotel stay worth of money to stay at some goddamn cabin, or some such that was basically just a glorified hotel that we also had to clean to floors and dishes at. Like what the fuck if I'm gonna pay an eco resort fee, I better not have to mop the damn floor too. And that free gift is usually a scam, like a free cruise, but you will be told one day in advance when it isn't if you turn it down. Their obligation is filled. There was a great article someone wrote about going on a free cruise. It was basically a huge hassle but worth it if you just really wanted a cruise and couldn't afford it. Wonder if someone got a free cruise right before COVID hit, and then they were quarantined on the ship for a month. At least I don't have a fucking timeshare. That person. And if you can pull it off today, your cruise could last for weeks and weeks. You may have to put up with one heck of a nasty cough, but yeah, no, trade-offs make the world go round. Also, timeshares. Edit. Thanks everybody for trying to convince me that your timeshare scam is less scammy than every other timeshare scam. Also MLMs. My brother-in-law has been doing multi-level marketing scams for 15 years now. He has a dual masters. Crazy. As in he has been successfully scamming people with multi-level marketings. Or he has been getting scammed by multi-level marketings. Well, both I think. He pays whoever is above him for merchandise. He pays loads of cash to go to conferences to learn how to better sell, and he pays for one-on-one consulting with higher up folks in his team. He also tried to recruit family and friends literally all the time. Sounds like he is more on the getting scammed side, and has sunk in too much to give up. So he's buckling down and letting them scam him harder. Conferences, one-on-one coaching, multi-level marketings thrive off of the sunk cost fallacy. Totally. He has been on that for so long now. He travels probably twice a month to various conferences. I don't even think he has furniture in his apartment. It's really sad because if he would just do normal work and use his education he could easily make 100,000 plus a year. But he is chasing some dream of being a millionaire or something. Which is crazy because it'll be easier for him to become a millionaire with a 100k salary. I think you have to get scammed first to do the scamming. I work for a timeshare. The levels of stupidity and entitlement by both the owners and the people who sell the timeshares are off the charts. Everyone from the top down is scammed. I only justify the evil because I'm in food and beverage and have nothing to do with that side. I once went through a timeshare presentation because they promised a $350 Visa gift card, free hotel stays, and a tour of the area, which was nice because I was new to the area. The lady doing the tour wore a fancy watch, upside down. It took a little convincing, but I did manage to walk away with the $350 gift card and hotel voucher. I never did use the hotel voucher, though. They make sense if you want to prepay for 25 years of 2 weeks holiday in the exact same resort, in the exact same place, at the exact same time every year, and cook and clean for yourself. By year 24 you've almost broken even, so that 25th year is costing you barely more than a 5-star vacation in Jamaica. I kid, of course. You never break even. The maintenance fee, see to that. I'd say that is ridiculous. But I personally know someone who takes the same 2 weeks vacation, from the Philly suburbs to the Jersey Shore, every year. So I don't know, man. There are people out there who timeshares are made for. To illustrate this man's psyche, another coworker mentioned she was going to Seattle to visit her friend. This man said that would be amazing because Seattle is his dream vacation. She suggested he go there instead of the shore 1 year. He was overwhelmed with the idea and was like, oh no, I could never do that. Timeshares are apartments near vacation areas, beaches, theme parks, etc., that many people own a piece of and schedule when they get to be there. Imagine 52 people owning a beachside apartment and only getting a week per year each. They exist because the company makes far more money selling individual shares of the apartment. It's usually a very bad investment. Just to ride your coattails a bit, timeshares usually cost 8 to 20k. Then they get that from 26-52 people. It can turn a property that typically would sell for $300k to over $500,000. Then the company that manages the timeshare, for scheduling and maintenance, takes a cut for monthly or annual fees. Most people just buy one, use it a couple times, then wish they hadn't bought it. When they go to sell it, they find out it is just as complicated, if not more complicated, as a typical real estate transaction for a condominium. But no one ever wants to buy it, because they are generally regarded as a shitty deal. So the owners are faced with high exit costs since there is no resale market, and they have to pay fees forever basically. Owners then go to these secondary companies which try to consolidate ownership of the timeshare, or run their own high-pressure sales teams to resell the property to the next unsuspecting buyer. The companies usually pay about 10-30% the original purchase price, and the owners suffer a loss just to unload the property. Timeshares, generally regarded as a bad idea. Edit. Complicated, not completed. I always tell anyone who considers a timeshare, you'll probably sink around $20k into this thing. And if you're lucky, you'll get 10 years of use out of it. That's 10-week-long vacations to the same apartment near the beach in Florida, or wherever, the exact same little condo, during the exact same week, every year, where you've got to supply your own meals and drinks, where you've got to clean up at the end or be hit with a maintenance fee, where if you can't go because of a project at work, you don't get any of that cost back. Or worse, if the beach gets hit by a hurricane and everything shuts down for years, sorry, out of luck, but you've got to keep paying. Alternatively, $2,000 will get you a pretty nice room for a full week at an all-inclusive resort at tons of places around the Gulf of Mexico. Hell, $2,000 would get you a pretty nice suite on a 7-day cruise. Places where you don't have to take a cab to get to the attractions, where they clean your room for you every day, and where all your meals and drinks are made for you. No extra cost. And most importantly, you get to choose exactly when and where you want to go. And if you want to go, if the timing doesn't work, get most of your money back, or reschedule. If money's tight and you just don't want to go this year, no problem. Just keep your money and don't go. If the resort gets hit by a hurricane and shuts down, chances are you'll get most, if not all, of your money back from travel insurance. Worst case, you lose the cost of one vacation. So would you rather lock yourself into 10 of the exact same vacations that you may or may not be able to go on, and still pay the same price whether you go on them or not? Or would you rather have the option to pick 10 different vacations, and pick different times of the year, and decide whether you even want to pay for them in the first place? In general, that's the summer home dilemma. If you spend money on something you think you'll use for relaxation, you feel obligated to only use that location for relaxation. I'll buy a nice cabin next to the lake that we can go to for vacations. Soon that cabin becomes an albatross. Instead of taking a trip to Europe, or going to Vegas, or whatever, you're at that cabin because I need to maximize my investment.